to tonight. Bye.
There you go.
And here we are. Another year, another Eastslope. Welcome everybody to Tasty Taco Tuesday. I mean the Eastslope Captains meeting. Already got the guys chiming in. Hey Gord, Rindy, Michelle. Right on. So yeah, here we are. We are coming up very, very fast on the Eastslope Kayak Fishing Classic. So it's going to be an absolute blast again. Hey, Dave. I see Dave's actually joining us from Saskatchewan this year, so that's going to be awesome. Ron, Robin. What's the Captian? Not sure what the Captian is, but you can be the Captian, Gordon. We'll be the captains. Hey, Joel. Yeah, so we'll start off by saying registration for the event closes tonight at midnight. You have to register through the app by midnight tonight. The reason we're doing this is we need to make arrangements for both the barbecue that we're putting on ourselves on Saturday, as well as the catered pulled pork meal on pulled pork and beef on a bun on Sunday. So you got to make sure you're getting in there, getting registered on the app before midnight tonight. A couple of the people have made arrangements to pay later in the week. That's fine. Just make sure that you're getting registered by tonight at midnight. So come tomorrow, we're going to be shut down for it.
Robin's already calling you out on your Wednesday night. He said Wednesday night last time, but you said Wednesday at midnight.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Wednesday at midnight is
midnight of Wednesday.
Midnight Tuesday is you don't have a midnight on Wednesday. That's in the morning. So yes, sorry.
Tonight.
It's tonight. Fees $75 for the Eastslope, $20 a night for camping. That can be sent via e-transfer to the trail, westcankayaktrail@gmail.com. If you're going to be competing in the team event, that's $20, but you need to bring cash because we will be running that as you're competing with cash for cash. It's outside of the tournament pretty much. So you just need to make sure that you're bringing cash for that. We do have some extra food coming as well. So for the Sunday night meal, there'll be extra food there as well. We're going to charge $25 a person. It's about closer to $30 a person, but we're just going to drop it down to that $25 a person, make it a little easier. Beef on a bun, pulled pork, salads, bread of some sort. I can't remember what he said, like beans, everything. So for anybody that's eaten with us there the past couple of years, these guys absolutely best. All seasons pig roast and catering out of Red Deer are coming out. So it's going to be great. As you can see, we've got some prizes. Werner Paddle, longtime sponsor. Garmin, they've been a huge sponsor for years with us. Huge sponsor as well for many, many years. Len Thompson. We do have one of the Scotty gear caddies going up on the table. So I've seen guys mount these on the side of their boats, behind their seats. It's absolutely amazing. And probably one of the prizes that gets missed a lot on the table because it's not this great big thing that people are going to be looking at. Ah. It need like a light shining down. Kokatat Supernova Angler Semi-Dry Suit, $1,250. So thank you again, Kokatat. They've been involved with, along Kokatat, Werner, and Scotty have been involved with the Eastslope since day one. So we want to say a huge thanks to them. Dakota Lithium, we've got a couple batteries. Lose this year, they came on with every one of our derbies as well. So we've got a rod reel combo, Blackwater paddles, and Western canoe and kayak down on the coast. They partnered up, got us paddles for every one of our events. It's absolutely amazing. I cannot say how excited I am for this year. It's going to be a blast. Already has been. Yes, and Robin's got a bunch of prizes for us. If anybody watching has any questions on the app, post them up in there. This is our app guru. That's why he's on. So if you have any questions you need to know about the app, anything like that, this is the gentleman you want to speak to. I got a couple other things. I'll touch on it after this. Pre-fishing, 8 p.m. Friday night. There's no lines in the water, period. So you got to be done fishing. You can launch anywhere on Glenifer Lake, Dixon Pond you want. Come 6 a.m. on Saturday. You have to be done fishing by 5 p.m. So no lines in the water. So at 5 p.m., if somebody snaps a picture of you and you're trolling in, you've got a line in the water. If that gets sent into one of the directors, you will be disqualified. So it's all lines, no lines in the water before 6 and no lines in the water after 5. Plain and simple. Anybody found doing that will be removed from the event and very likely just removed from the trail series. We don't want people to cheat and make it a pain for everybody. Sunday out at 6, off the water by 4. Now, actually, just let me check. Terran, can you check? Did we do 5 or 6 for Saturday? Actually, now that I'm thinking of it, we might have said 6 to 6.
6 to 5 is what I have. That's what I have in the app. 6 to 5.
So what's in the app is what it is from 6 a.m. till 5. Robin, can I register someone else from my app? No, you have to log out of your app and then log in, creating an account for them and using their account kind of thing. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, Terran?
Yeah, that's correct. So I had this question before as well. So you can do it on your phone still if you need, but you just have to log out of their account and make them an account.
Yeah. And I don't think it's very difficult, is it? As long as you remember your passwords.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on Saturday, lines out by 5. We will have a barbecue at the hall. So the girls are going to cook again for us this year. We wrangled them into cooking again this year. So we'll see what it's going to cost this time. But yeah, so they were happy to help us out, being as everybody wanted to be out fishing. So we will have food. It'll probably be ready that 6 o'clock type thing on Saturday night. So there will be burgers and chips and potato salad for everybody. Sunday, no fishing after 4. We would like you to be off of the water at 4 o'clock and getting ready to head back, because what we're going to do is we're going to have the food ready. So when you come in, you guys will be able to grab your food and sit down and have your food while we're doing the awards banquet. So it just makes it a little easier for that. So they'll be set up and ready to feed you when you come back in. All fishing must be done from a human-powered watercraft. So no motors whatsoever. We've talked about this before. There's no mothershipping. You can't be out there and grab hold of somebody's boat and go 100 meters. Nothing. There's no interactions with boats on the water. And we actually had this question from an angler that said, well, I'm going to have friends out there in a boat. And I said, that's fine. Reel your lines up, go into shore, put your kayak on shore, hang out on shore, paddle back out. And when their boat's gone, then you're able to put that line back in the water. So if you want to interact with somebody, do it on shore, not on the water. PFDs a must wear at all times. That is a rule that we go by. We know that you're only required to have it on board, but as part of the trail, we do require that 100% of the time your PFD is worn. Same as barbless hooks. All hooks must be barbed or barbless, so all barbs pinched. At any time, any one of the directors can come up to somebody and ask to see their lines, and you're obliged to bring your line up and show them that you've got barbless hooks. At any time, Fish and Wildlife could come out. They know the tournament. They've got the rules. They could come out, ask the same thing. Again, it's the same thing. No fishing deeper than 24.5 feet. So unless you're moving, I suggest you don't have more than 24 feet hanging off of your rod tip, because if they come up and they'll just grab your rod and they'll physically measure your line if they want. And if you're over, you'll get a fine, not us. So just be very cognizant of that. We're in 24.5 feet of water. 10 fish were allowed. So 2 trout, brown, brook, rainbow, and cutthroat. If you do catch a bull by chance, it's immediately back in the water. It's not even taking a hero shot with it. That fish is caught and instantly released. If you see it's a bull, I would suggest you don't even net it. Get your pliers onto that hook, release that fish, and just keep it in the water. Pike, 2 pike, they've got to be over 45 centimeters. So that's not a very big pike. It's only like an 18-inch pike. We're allowing 3 walleye. They've got to be over 30 centimeters. If you're lucky enough to catch a burbot, 1 burbot, as well as 2 suckers. Again, the pictures, your identifier must be on the in the picture, and that's a reason for disqualification of the fish. If there's no image that has your identifier, that we can clearly see your identifier in it with the face of it, can't be the backside, it needs to be the face with the code written on it, that fish won't count. So that could be detrimental if you hook into something really good and it doesn't work out for you. Belly to belly. So your bump board is going to be to your left side. The fish is belly towards your belly. Hand on the body. No hands or fingers in the gills. If you're dealing with a big pike, you can slide it in along the gill plate to the very end of the jaw and hold right up at the very front. That's it. And really all we want to see is basically, if we were to look at your hand and the fish, you should only have about that much inside the gill plate. Literally, you're just holding the gill plate like that just to hold it in place. So please be very cognizant of that, because again, if we get any of those pictures, they will be disqualified. Anything else on photos, Terran?
I don't think so. Just make sure your photos are clear. So what I would say is, like, trying to read the identifier and read numbers is very difficult, especially on some boards. So if you have a board that doesn't have good labeled numbers, try to mark them in black if you can. Take your photo, put your fish back in the net, put the net in the water. Go look at your photos, make sure the photo is good before you release your fish if you're worried about it, and then you're 100% good to go.
Yeah, and with that, if you haven't watched it already, go to our wckft.wordpress.com site. Go to the media. There's the video in there that Broden made up for us. It's absolutely great. Get your fish. Don't look at your pictures while the fish is there. Get the pictures of your fish, put the fish in the net back in the water, then look at your pictures. So you want to make sure that we're looking after those fish. Any dead fish, if you're fishing and you catch a fish and it's dead, you need to bring that fish in, and it's going to immediately, it needs to be brought in, and you need to notify one of us. We'll let you know our numbers, and we'll let you know what to do with the fish. Whether you're going to bring it to one of us, put it in one of our vehicles, keep it on your boat until then, whatever it is, we'll let you know. But when a fish dies, instantly, if we haven't provided you any other thing of saying, oh, we're going to have a cooler here or something, which we'll try to do. We'll try and get a cooler that you guys can put them in. But yeah, if you catch a fish and it dies, all lines out of the water until a decision is made of what you're going to do with that fish. And then at that time, you can put your lines back in the water. You can pinch the tails for extra length, which sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes they flop off the board when you're trying to do it. So
yeah. And when you catch a big one, don't hold it up for everybody to see first. Take a picture and then hold it up.
I think you're speaking from experience there.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm never going to let myself live that one down. What else was I going to say? You can't secure the fish down anyway. So if you're using any type of a measuring board that has a device that's over the top that stops the fish from flopping up, whether it's clear covers or bands or a cage or anything like that, it can't be like that. You can have 3 sides on it, but it has to be open to the top. So even those, like there's those fish tubes, you can't use that because once you put the fish in there, he can't get out. So it needs to be an open to air on the top where you're taking the picture from. Like Terran said, make sure that it's clear. Make sure the fish is slid all the way up to the end. So you look at any of the seasoned anglers out there, we all kind of do the same. We wedge our net in under the end of the bump board because if they're going to jump 9 times out of 10, they're going to go that way. You might at least catch them in your net. Let's see. Obviously, we are guests on this lake and the entire area around it. So please make sure that we're not driving like idiots. There's lots of houses around there as far as the farmland goes. You know, watch what you're doing. Watch when you're going right through Dixon. It's a slow speed limit through there. Please obey those speed limits. You are all there.
Cops, it's 40 through Dixon, and cops definitely like to sit in that town. I've seen them a few times on long weekends, especially. So,
yeah, and you know we're our guests, and people are going to see with kayaks on your roof. They're going to know what's going on. They know we're having the tournament there, so just please make sure you're doing whatever you can when you're out on the water. Obviously, you're not throwing garbage away. With that, there is no drinking on the water. So there's no alcohol out on the water there, guys. So I don't care what everybody thinks, so their own opinion. The law states that unless you have sleeping quarters and a bathroom facility on your boat, you're actually not allowed to drink while out on the water. So make sure we're doing that. Everybody make sure you've got a safety kit. So it's got to have that buoyant heaving line, a signaling device, a bailer, or a pump to get water out. So make sure that you've got that with you. Again, that's something that Fish and Wildlife can swing by and check on you outside of the tournament, even at any time. It is catch photo release. We always get the odd person saying, oh man, you know, I'd sure like to keep a couple of these. If you go back out on the water at 5 o'clock on Saturday, you've got until 8 o'clock that night to catch yourself a fish. But I would say, you know what, hang out until Monday and go out Monday morning and go try and fish again, just because we are catch photo release. So we need to really make sure of that. Everybody's got a copy of the competitive fishing license. It's part of the rules, which is loaded into the app. I'm just looking to see here. Fishing licenses, everybody must have their fishing license. So make sure you've got that on you. So this is one that gets brought up, and especially for people that come from out of province that aren't really used to it. Barbless hooks, and for the purpose of interpreting this condition, a hook means a single, double, or triple pointed hook on a common shaft, includes hooks attached to a line or lure, and barbless hooks includes hooks with barbs removed or with barbs pinched laying flat against the shaft so that they're not functional. So there are a few out there that almost have, I believe they call them a micro barb. And so it's basically just like a rough spot on the hook. That's not a true barb. The fish can still spit those out. So those are allowed. It's the actual big barb down on the hook that needs to be pinched down. Again, at any time, anybody from the trail directors can come up and ask you to take a look at those hooks. and somebody can come from Fish and Wildlife and ask to look at your hooks, look at all your stuff, fishing licenses, everything. So camping, there isn't potable water on site. There's a well there, but they recommend we don't drink the water. So we bring water with us to make you guys coffee in the morning. But other than that, you're going to need to bring whatever you can bring. The hall will get opened up in the morning. No, Randy, and any barbs on the shaft. So I know what you're talking about. They've got the little barbs up near the eye. Those need to be pinched as well because they're technically still barbs. The hall will be opened up in the morning, so you guys can go in, use it as you need. At night, we're going to close it up. We're going to probably try for that by 11 o'clock at night, kind of quiet time. If you want to be a little louder and having drinks, go back to your campsite because there's going to be lots of people there that want to get some sleep and get out fishing early in the morning. So like I said, we will have that out there. Provided there is no, there's no fire bans, which I haven't heard there is. So
I'll check right now.
I haven't heard of anything out that way. It's been fairly wet. They've been getting a fair bit of water. So if there's no fire bans, fire is allowed. And there's a big gravel crusher cone there. So we just say if you guys want to have a fire, you need to bring the firewood because we don't have firewood on site. And at no time can anybody go and break branches off any of the trees or anything around there to get firewood.
There's no fire ban.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see here. So there was a few people who had paid but not registered. I got those guys sorted out today. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7 people that that need to pay. Like I said, a few of you have already made arrangements with us that you're going to be paying on Friday morning before you come out. That's fine. But yeah, just make sure that you register in the app tonight. You don't necessarily have to submit the payment, but just go in the app. And if this is your last derby, if you're not fishing Cold Lake, you can also go in and cancel your subscription.
Yeah, right
Terran,
after
how would they do that?
Yeah, so right after you register, as long as you're registered, then you can immediately cancel your subscription. So you do not need to have a subscription in order to enter a fish. And I can show you on mine if you want, Mike.
Yeah, if you want to share your screen there.
Yeah, I got to press that button.
Show on stream.
Trying to see this one.
Here, I'll hide your camera too, so it's even bigger.
Yeah, make that big. Okay, so currently I have an expired credit card on my account, so that's why this is showing up. But if you click on your account, you can go to payments and subscriptions. Click this manage button. And I don't think I currently have an active subscription. So if you had an active subscription, I didn't have one for July since I didn't participate in any July tournaments. So I'm going to activate mine again here for August for the Derby just because I don't have an active subscription for August and I'm doing a Derby in August. But you can go in here and just cancel your subscription and there'll just be an option to cancel and that's all you got to do. I guess I can add mine. So you go into the same thing here.
Yeah, and this is actually perfect. So for anybody else, this is in the Fishing Chaos app. Why don't you go right from the start and kind of show them that for anybody that hasn't used this yet?
Yeah, so this is basically the home. Where's the home page? It's my dashboard. So this would be all the events. So this is how you would get into the event to actually register for it. I am registered for it. But if you're not registered, there will be a register button. There will also be a green bar that appears here that says subscription required. So if you do not have a subscription, it will not let you register. The registration button will not show up. So then you'll have to go in and actually get a subscription, which is done on your account here. So you would go to your personal profile, payments and subscriptions, and then you would choose your subscription. And the one that I would pick is this for real in onlys, the Weekend Warrior one. and then you'll have to add your payment method and whatnot. I don't have a credit card in here right now, so I don't really want to share my credit card information online.
Come on. And I just saw when you were doing that, Terran, it is in the app that you do have until tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. So Terran gave you all an extra 1 day of reprieve to get registered for the Eastslope. So
I did.
Everybody can thank Terran.
I did. Yeah. I was going to change it after this, but I won't now.
Yeah, no, we'll leave that. But please register early because, like I said, I've had to book food, so I just need to know if I need to let them know to bring a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're new this year, haven't used the app yet, reach out to the trail. You can reach out to the Western Canada Trail. All of us have access to the Facebook Messenger. Just put on there, hey, I've got a question for Terran on the app. Terran will see it, and then he can walk you through what you need to do to get yourself set up on the app, how to create your account, how to go in. Because like Terran showed, it's pretty easy for those of us that have been using it for a while, but anybody else that's brand new that hasn't used Fishing Chaos, it'll be really good. And especially now this year with the payment subscription. And the reason we did that is because before they were hitting us with a fee, they were hitting you with a fee, and then they were taking more money off. So we weren't even getting what we should have been getting. Can we go out to the hall Thursday night? Well, two answers, yes and no. Yes, camping is available for the Thursday night. There will be no access to the hall whatsoever. So you cannot go into the hall for anything until probably noonish on Friday when I get there. No loud, rowdy, getting drunk, anything like that, because out of the goodness of their heart, they're letting us camp for that. Because I made that case that we're going to have people that want to drive down Thursday night. And so they're going to let us do it. So please just be mindful that there is a house right across the road that's going to be hearing everything we do. And I'm pretty sure they sit on they either sit on the board or they have connections with the hall board. So, well, there you go. Anybody going? If you don't have a pooper, Jim's got a pooper.
Jim's, yeah.
Fill up his little pooper. Away you go. But yeah, so like I said, it's $20 a night for camping. If you've paid already for the Eastslope, you haven't paid for camping, you can square up with us in cash when we get there. That's fine. If you haven't paid for the Eastslope and you haven't made arrangements yet, just please make sure you're getting that done, because what'll happen is Friday night, we'll go through, and anybody who hasn't paid but is registered, we'll just pull them off of there. So you'll go to try and catch fish on Saturday and you won't be able to because you won't be registered anymore. So if anybody needs worms from Robin, she needs to know by Thursday. So Robin, I'll take 2. I'll tell you that right now. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else regarding the Eastslope. We've talked about the food. We've talked about camping. We've talked about the fish, about the app. As I said, again, we will have burgers on Saturday night. So, we'll have those available. Again, it's one of those, let's be respectful and not eat 6 burgers, because we've got a lot of anglers coming in and families that are there. But by no means does it mean you can have one patty and have to walk away. So the other meal on Sunday, again, catered. So that's great. That gives the ladies a break. They don't have to cook for us all. They get to sit and enjoy a meal as well. So Robin's making bank on worms now. Gord too, Jim too, me too. So yeah, anybody else, if you want worms when it's done.
Randy had 4. No, I don't know.
Yeah, but the problem is Randy drives around with fries on his dashboard. So funny. Michelle, bringing a guest. You can either send money for the food now, or you can just bring cash. Either one works for us. So that's not an issue. So that's.
Do you need to know those, Mike? Do you need to know those numbers? Like for the catered meal, do you need to know numbers for +1 and stuff?
Yeah, if you don't mind just shooting us a message, I kind of have an idea of a bunch of people have already asked me. So for everybody that's asked me, I already know that I've included you. So that was like 5 people, I think, already so far. Sheldon asked, Terran, a couple other people. So I've got that kind of written down. So I'm going to try and get an extra probably 20 plates over what we have for anglers, just so that we've got some extra. But yeah. Oh, here we go. She's going to be a runaway. Yeah, so there you go. So let me just start writing these down. I didn't think it would take long to get some extra numbers. So that's Randy for 3, Terran for 1, Sheldon for 2, Michelle for 1. Yeah, I mean, right there, that's already 10 extra people. So we will, maybe I'll be ordering for 70-ish. We'll see. So yeah, if you want to do it, you know what, the best thing to do is actually just reach out to me personally. You can do that. I see the messages when they come through the trail as well. So maybe what I'll even do is just put a post up there of saying, here's what I've got for people. And then anybody else that needs a +1 or 2 or 3 or 4 for the food for Sunday night can just post there. And then I've got an accurate number, and then I'll let them know again on Thursday. But yeah, I'm excited. Gonna be fun. Praying that we get great weather. And by great weather, I mean overcast and cool, so nobody wants to be out on their boats and we get the lake to ourselves.
Yes, that would be much better.
Yeah.
No big surf boats.
Yeah. With that, everybody just be mindful. You know, it is a big lake. There are boats out there. I know people like to travel all over that lake to catch fish. Some of the biggest fish I've seen caught at the Eastslope have been caught all the way along right by the dike there. So I've seen some big browns, some big brooks, some nice pike, some great walleye, just right along that shoreline from the dike down past the boat launch along that kind of cliff down there. Big fish in there all the time. So don't feel like you have to get out on this lake and go miles and miles and miles and miles. Last year, it was funny as all hell. We were right by the swimming area, the beach, and Ben and I were sitting there, and Sheldon was sitting there, and Sheldon is like, "Oh, I got a walleye," and he's like, "Oh God, it's going to be a big one," and it came up. I mean, he caught a walleye, and he wasn't using live bait. Just happened that a massive pike came up and tried to eat his walleye, and he caught them both. So, and the funniest thing about that was he didn't even know about the walleye. He actually thought it was the pike. Because when he got it on board, the pike started rolling around, ripped through his net, and actually the walleye got unhooked, and the pike spit the walleye underneath his seat. So he was dealing with the pike, and I'm like, well, there's a walleye under your seat too, dude. So it was a 2-for-1. So, but I mean, I think it was 34, 36, something in there. Like there's some big fish, and that's right along shore. So don't get intimidated by the size of the water body. As you get up to the end of the lake, there is no going up the river there. Terran, the boundary set, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe out here, we'll pop that back up. And maybe if you don't mind showing that boundary.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here. I don't know if I have the haul on here, not the actual lake boundary on the app. Yeah, because this is just the haul. So this is the location of the haul for anybody that needs to know.
Yeah, and we'll put a link to the actual haul.
Yeah, because if you click on that, that'll take you to the haul. But
yeah.
But I mean, we can zoom in on. Oh, I zoomed the wrong way. see if
I like looking at all your fishing spots here.
No, this is Kyla's, so that's basically all of her favorite camping spots.
Oh, that's all the top paddle boarding spots.
Yeah. So leave the boundaries right here.
Yeah, so you can go right to the mouth of the rivers.
Yeah.
So yeah, like it's kind of can you show them across the front there where Dixon Pond is? There's actually a berm right across the front here.
Here, if I switch to satellite view.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's the berm. You're allowed to round this corner here, and there'll be like some cliffs here. Like there's a deep spot like here, I know, and there's some cliffs. And basically you can go to about here. And that's where the boundary is. So you can't go up into here or like up in here.
Yeah.
So it's right across.
Perfect.
Right across here.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a big lake. When you go down the other end, if you do decide that you're going to go down that other end, just make sure that you're staying far enough away. There's markers out there, but it's a dam, so there is current there. So you got to make sure that you're actually. If you zoom in, I think you can even see the.
There's buoys like right here. This line right here, you can't go past on the right side of this. So basically, from this point out, this line is right here.
Yeah, you'll see the buoys. So just make sure that you're not crossing over there for any reason, because that is out of bounds as well.
And then other than that, I think the rest is all good.
Doesn't count, Jim.
It's got to be 18.
Got to be 18. And that's pre-fishing hardcore when you're there a week early. Jim probably went right from Saskoolie to Gleniffer. He's probably just living there right now.
I saw you caught a 12-inch trout too.
Yeah. He doesn't want to talk about that. But yeah, so Dixon Trout Pond, for anybody that's new, Dixon Trout Pond is a stocked trout pond. So there is trout in there. I don't know what the numbers are, but they have released tigers in there too over the years. So you've got a Rindy's suffering withdrawals. We all are, Rindy. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with the Eastslope. If you've got any questions, reach out to us. Yeah, 80% chance of rain on Saturday, 1 to 3 millimeters. So
it's perfect.
That's just the tears of all of us who lose our fish. So yeah, you don't want to worry too much about that. If you have any questions, anything Eastslope related, get hold of us. Like I said, if you are going out, if you're going to go out and camp on Thursday night, you need to let me know, because I need to have a list of the people that are going to be there. So right now I know it's Carl, Sheldon, and now Jim. So let me know, because I've got to let them know how many people are actually going to be there. Any outhouses at the hall? No, Dave, there aren't. So you'll just have to suck up to Jim and borrow his pooper.
Once the hall is open during the other days, then there's a running water washroom in it. But
yeah. As soon as I get there on Friday morning, and there'll be. Sheldon's not camping. Never mind. All right, so it's Carl and Jim for sure so far. But yeah, as soon as I get there Friday, the hall will be opened up, and then there's running water for the washrooms and stuff like that. So the question was asked the other night. We will have the ability. I really suggest it if you're looking to charge your batteries, bring a power bar, because everybody's going to be jockeying for spots to plug in. So if you're going to want to plug in and charge batteries, bring a power bar with you so that you actually have something to plug into. Otherwise, you guys are going to be waiting a long time. So bring the power bars. We will have coffee available Saturday and Sunday mornings. So that's all good. And other than that, the only other thing that I had that I needed to talk about is I'm still waiting on some addresses. So anybody that fished Manitoba, check your emails, because if you fished Manitoba, I sent you an email to get your address, because for everybody, and some people might not have seen it, but we had our challenge in June for the Bass Champions, and Manitoba is the Western Canada Kayak Fishing Trail 2023 Bass Champion. So everybody that fished, I'm sending you some stickers if you fished in Manitoba. So I need your address. So if you haven't sent it to me already, please make sure you get that sent out so I can send you your stickers and you can be proud and represent. So beyond that, Cold Lake is coming up. A couple weeks after the Eastslope. It's going to be absolutely great. Sadly, we won't have Terran there.
Nope.
We could not convince.
It would have been easier. It would be less stressful at this point in my wedding planning challenges.
Well, hey, I'm just gonna say that I got ordained by the Universal Life Ministries, and I can legally marry you in like New Mexico and Arizona. So what the hell? We'll do it up there. Just come up to Cold Lake. We'll do it on the water and keep fishing. Yeah, there you go. Just keep fishing. Yeah, no wedding at the lake, Robin.
One other thing, Mike. The door prize.
The door prize. So every single angler has a chance to win a Sportsman pedal from Old Town. Our difference this year over last year, what do we have this year, Terran?
Orange, what is it? A Sportsman PDL 10.6?
What size?
I think it's a 10.6, isn't it?
Is it a 10 or is it a 12?
I actually don't know. I'll have to go look at it. It's in my garage right now.
Oh, see, well, we should have Terran on. Yeah, so we've got this brand new boat. It just came in, so it's never seen the water, other than what's going to be on there. As far as I know, it's the Sportsman 120. It should be at least.
Okay,
That's
I will confirm.
And there you go. Look, Sheldon's wife can legally marry you out at the lake. Go get Kayla. Tell her to come in. Wedding plans are changing. I may have accidentally suckered them into one when we were at Open Creek for our anniversary. We had them come down, and I made them point at each other, and I just said, "Well, yeah, that's close enough to saying I do. You guys are married, so." But yeah, so we're gonna call it at that. Everybody, please make sure register, get registered, make your payments, and it's gonna be a blast. It always is. Hoping to see some great action out there again this year. There's always been a ton of fish caught. It'll be a battle this year again, I can tell. And yeah, if you want to do the team event, if you don't have a partner and you want to do it, you can absolutely just come up and say, "Hey, I don't have a partner." We'll write people's names in a hat and we'll randomly draw you and match you up with somebody. Robin, no kiss a fish. Well, I guess since we did it at Cooley, we should do it here. So what fish? Terran, I'll let you pick the fish they need to kiss.
I don't want a jack. They got too many teeth.
Well, that's what makes it fun. No. How about sucker?
Sucker, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, okay, so there you go. The first hero shot submitted through the app, kissing a sucker, will get a $50 cash prize.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, it can't just be like a little. It's got to be full on.
The first thing is you got to catch
really
one,
wet.
So that's the challenge.
Yeah, Yeah, it's got to be like you need to have sucker slime on the inside of your lips. Like no tongue, but that close. Yeah, Curtis Jensen missed out on the cash last time. He sent me a picture right away of him. He sent it to me of him kissing a walleye. I'm like, dude, wrong species. It was supposed to be something from the mini tournament. All right, there we go. $50 cash prize for the first sucker hero shot kiss. So spectacular. It's going to be fun. Like I said, if you have any questions, reach out to us. Any one of us directors directly or through the trail, we will get your questions answered. I'll post a comment up or I'll do a post just about the extra people who needs what for food for the Sunday night. So comment on there if your name's not on the list. If you're going to camp out, if you're going to be there Thursday night camping, send me a message and let me know. Like I said, so far I have Carl and Jim there, but anybody else that's going to be there early Thursday night, let me know so I can do it. And other than that, we will see everybody Friday. With that, you don't have to come to the hall if you don't want to Friday night. Friday night is just a social. So you can come, you can hang out. If you decide you're camping somewhere else and you're just going to, just going to write Dave down here. You don't have to come see us Friday night. As long as you've watched this, you know what's going on. You can just head out to the water in the morning. I had a thought and now it's gone. Oh, gear swap. If you've got kayak gear that you want to sell, you want to trade, anything like that, it's been pretty successful the past few years. So anything you have extra that you're no longer using that you either want to sell or you want to trade to somebody, bring it out, and we'll have that, as well as we will definitely more than likely be walking around selling some little red tickets again. So get in on that and try and win back your entry fee that way as well. So with that, we will say goodnight to you all and happy fishing if you fish prior to the event. If not, we will see you Friday night or Saturday.